In this video, we are going to be talking about common conversions as well as how to convert using the metric system. So to begin with, this is just a list of common conversions that you should know, especially time. At this point, you should all know these common conversions for time. Length may be a little bit different. One important one that you are going to need to have memorized is the mile to feet conversion. That 1 mile has 5,280 feet. That is a very, very common conversion. So that one is definitely going to be something that you need to have memorized. I'm not saying to go and memorize all of these, but you should recognize a few of these. Another important one is going to be the 1 inch equals 2.54 centimeters. So this is how we go between imperial and metric conversions. So imperial being what you are all used to, so inch, foot, so forth and so on, and then metric is basically what every other country uses, except 3 countries. So us, including one of those 3 countries that don't use metric. So being able to convert between the two, so being able to speak with other countries is very important. So that is why that one is also going to be one that you need to know. Another common one is yards to feet. So some of you may already know that one, others may not, but 1 yard has 3 feet in it, so 1 yard is more than a foot. So some volume, so basically those of you that are learning any kind of cooking may already know some of these, or if you don't, these are extremely helpful for you when you are cooking. 1 cup equals 8 ounces, so if you ever need to know how many cups of something and you only have something that measures in ounces, you are able to convert between the two. I wouldn't necessarily highlight any of these in particular. If you ever go into high level physics or something like that, this one is actually quite useful. The 1 milliliter equals 1 centimeter cubed volume, which basically allows you to understand that metric volume is actually a distance as well, instead of volume in imperial, which makes absolutely no sense at all. They're just made up numbers. I'm sure there's a story for each one of how they were made up. For weight, one that's used often is pounds to ounces, so 1 pound equals 16 ounces. The rest are typically pretty much anything that I haven't highlighted is typically given to you as a conversion because it's not something that we're asking you to memorize. So just keep that in the back of your mind. Don't go and try to memorize this chart at all, but do know the ones that are highlighted. So metric conversion. So the metric system is great because you can quickly convert between different units. So the acronym to help memorize this conversion is King Henry died by drinking chocolate milk. So each of these initials stands for the first letter of the prefix of the metric system. So the prefixes being kilo, hecto, deca, base. So base means that there is no prefix. So that would be your meters or your liters and stuff like that. Deci, centi, and milli. So these are going to be your prefixes of things. So this is a great and easy way to do some conversions. So this is something that you will need to be able to do, is convert between metric conversions. but it is extremely straightforward as long as you remember King Henry died by drinking chocolate milk. So of these, kilo, base, centi, and milli are the ones that are going to be used 98% of the time on any kind of standardized tests. So just be aware of that, but you need to understand that they have an order to them. So let's look at some examples so you can kind of understand why they're in this order and how we can quickly change between them. So for the first example, it says how many milliliters are in 25 liters. So I have 25 liters. So I'm going to write that. So 25, and I'm just going to put the liters above it. So I'm also going to place my decimal of wherever the decimal is. So this is a whole number, so the decimal is going to go after it. So I'm trying to go from liters, which is a base number, to milliliters. So see this prefix right here of milli? So I'm trying to go from base to milli. So if I'm looking at this chart, I'm trying to go from this base, so here, and I'm trying to go all the way over to milli. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of count by doing these little like skips almost. So notice that to go from the base, I have to go 1, 2, 3 to the right to get to milli prefix. So I'm going to do that exact same motion with my decimal. I'm going to take it and I'm going to go 1, 2, 3 to the right. So that's going to tell me, hey, I need to change my decimal to be at this end location. And all of the little loops we made, I'm going to put a 0 there. And that's it. That's the conversion. So to go from liters to milliliters, there are 25,000 milliliters in a liter, or in 25 liters. So I'm basically just moving that decimal space however many spaces between the bases and prefixes. So let's look at another example. So we have how many kilograms are in 3,026 decigrams. So notice that we have the prefix deci and we have the prefix kilo. So that's telling us where we're going. So we're starting at the 3,026 decigrams. So I'm going to put my dot. Let me put this in black pen. So this is our deci. And I'm trying to go to kilo. So I'm going to rewrite the King Henry died by drinking chocolate milk. So our deci is this one. Our kilograms is this one. So notice that it's to the left this time. So what that's going to tell me is I need to go from deci 1, 2, 3, 4 to get to kilograms. So I'm going to come over here to this decimal, which is going to be after the 6, and I'm going to go and do 1, 2, 3, 4 loops to the left. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and place my new decimal. So that means that my final answer is going to be 0.3026 kilograms are in 3,026 decigrams. So all of these are by a factor of 10, and that's why we can easily just move this decimal to the left or to the right, because we're either multiplying or dividing by 10 each time. that we move to the left, we're going to be dividing by 10. If we move to the right, we're going to be multiplying by 10. So I have two for you to try. So how many hectometers are in 36 centimeters? And how many decameters are in 395 kilometers? So pause and try these out. So on the first one, you should have had 0.0035 hectometers. And on the second one, you would have had 39,500 decameters.